Yeah. Done? Any question? No. Okay. The other type of body language is touch. Touching sends non-verbal message as well. Touch conveys intimacy and sends the comforting signal. I'm sure you understand that in Indian culture, we earlier used to maintain a typical way of maintaining distance between the touches with each other, and that is why in our culture long away, long before, we did not used to have the handshakes. We used to have the namaskar, okay, with the folded hand. It is always in Indian culture long before, I'm not saying today, but long before, we used to maintain that particular privacy factor, or I would say the people's own discretion, that whether that person, the other person, is going to touch another person or not. It is purely based on the discretion of both the cases. It's both the persons. It is not any formality used to be there where you have to touch each other's body part, including the palm and so on and so forth. But when our when the world has become a global melting pot, and we are actually uh, doing the business, or when we are working as professionals in the global culture, naturally we had to adopt the global culture of greeting each other, and there the handshake has become a mandatory one. And naturally, touch with the shaking hand is the first touching behavior which we generally use when we are greeting somebody for the first time, or maybe first time in a day, or first time in a meeting, or in a formal occasion or informal occasion, or something like that. Apart from handshake, hardly we use any touching behavior during our working situation, unless we are close to our colleagues, or the workmates. For example, if two people who are working, let's say, in side by side cubicle, and they're very close to each other, naturally they can just touch each other's shoulder and say, hi buddy, what's up, or how you are doing. Or at the end of the day, they may say, okay, let's go for a cup of coffee, or something like that. But these kind of discretion will be used and tolerated if and only if they are close to each other. um 1 minute. Okay. The second one is space. Space between two person always sends certain signals. I'm sure you know that there are three type of space. One is called as personal space, one is called as interpersonal space, and the third one is called as public space. Personal space is within 1.5 feet to 3 feet. That means this personal space is something very close to me, very near to me, very private to me. It's my personal space where I like to actually allow only handful of people, chosen people, selected people who are close to me, and they can have the privilege to come near me and touch me, maybe hugging me, maybe shaking my hand, and etc. After 3 feet, it's called the interpersonal space, where you see the one side of the table when somebody is sitting, and the other side of the table when another person is sitting or standing. There is a barrier which is created. In that case, that person who is standing or sitting in the other side of the table, that person is in the interpersonal space. That means that person is considerably close, but not as close as the other person who was allowed to come near me. There is a barrier. So basically, it is a kind of unsaid rule that maintain the formal distance, quote unquote, formal distance. The third space is public space, which generally goes beyond, okay, which goes beyond 4.5 feet, 5 feet to the last part or the last space or the last, I would say, inch or meter of the room where you are addressing the audience. Okay, it's a public space. That means people who are part of your audience, they are not close to you. They are just one of the present crowd. Space is very, very crucial. How you are standing with your colleagues or your boss or your subordinate, how close are you? How comfortable is your body language? And how close the or comfortable the body language of the other person with you? Looking at that, the observer can interpret that you are the boss's favorite team member or not so much really. Okay, again, misinterpretation is possible. Question, please. No question? Okay. The third point is voice. Voice is how the speaker says it. While the speaker talks, the audience tries to infer the voice in addition to the words. Therefore, the speaker needs to be careful about the timing, pace, tone, and modulation. This indicates whether the speaker is confident, sarcastic, and so on. So let's say, well done. Basically, it says, yeah, I'm not really impressed with you. Or somebody says, good job. So basically, it says, anyway, it's your choice. The class will be interrupted. I have no problem. You will be getting disturbed. Anyway, right. So there are two types of body language. One is positive body language and one is negative body language. So let's try to talk about what are the positive body language. The positive body languages are basically starting with the smile. Smile, a genuine smile portrays the level of comfort and ease. It indicates the positive relationship between individuals. However, false smile or fake smile may indicate sarcasm or pretense. Regular eye contact. Good eye contact indicates attention and active listening. However, an eye contact too intense may indicate hostility or apathy. Head nod. Nodding the head of the listener indicates agreement and approval with the presenter, especially coupled with a smile. So basically, nodding the head with a smile is giving the signal that yes, I am agreeing or in agreement with the presenter, or I have understood the presenter's point. Handshake. A firm handshake indicates confidence and respect. However, one should not squeeze another hands too much. While handshake, it will be showing that dominating behavior. Here's some example: maintaining the eye contact, having the handshake. You can see this type of handshake is not needed. You are actually squeezing another person's hand. It shows the dominating behavior. Somebody was asking about the pictures. So these are the pictures. In my PPTs, that will be there, so you can use at your discretion. These all are publicly available domain data. I have given you the link also. So when you are using the pictures or video clips, you should be extremely careful. There should not be any breach of confidentiality or privacy. Okay, so if it is a published data, then only you can use this in your training sessions or whatever. Therefore, be a little bit careful about that, guys. Some other positive body language: open palms. Open palms indicate openness and trustworthiness. A speaker talking to open palms indicate positive behavior. Upright and open posture, it indicates friendliness and openness of the speaker, and it is appreciated by the audience. Close distance, it may be comforting and indicate friendliness between the individuals. That means people are sitting next to each other. their body language is comfortable. Stroke on the chin or beard, this indicates that the listener is paying attention to the communicator. Question, please.
Ma'am, this is Shivli here. I have one question about the touch part. So many times in trainings, when the trainings, and this generally happens with me that if I'm giving the same participants training on a monthly basis or on a regular basis, there is some kind of a comfortability which has, you can say, a comfort zone. I'm not going to say comfortability, a comfort zone has been created because I am knowing the participants for a long time and I'm meeting them on a regular basis. At that time, if I want to, how comfort or how professional closeness can be measured without making the other person uncomfortable?
Okay. Your situation or your role as a trainer uh, is a formal role
Mm-hmm.
during this particular training session.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes.
just 1 minute. Yeah. So
Yes.
during a training session,
Mm-hmm.
if you think that the familiarity with a particular participant can create more effectiveness in your training session, and that particular participant is going to volunteer more or contribute more in your training
Right.
session, go ahead.
Right.
Is
Okay.
perfectly fine. Okay. And looking at that particular participant, you will find that the other participants also feel motivated and encouraged to be actually, with you and try to, show their familiarity and comfort level with you. So that
Right.
actually is very, very welcome. Okay,
Okay.
as a trainer, we all understand that, including myself, it is
Mm-hmm.
very, very important that we are accepted by the
Right.
participants. Yeah. So if the
Yes.
acceptability is being shown or portrayed by showing the familiarity, that's perfectly fine. But that should not create an impediment. That should not become a hindrance by this way, that the participant, just because he is or she is familiar to you, tries to get undue advantage in
Right.
by
Got it.
for example, let's say you have given on assignment, so instead
Okay.
of doing the assignment, he is roaming around and he's trying to give some excuses by saying that, I was busy in this, I was busy in that, I did not find time to do such things. And he is actually going
Right.
to other people and creating some issues where they are trying sincerely to finish the task, but this person is creating issues because he thinks, kuch nahi hoga yaar, she's very nice trainer, she's going to manage. That shouldn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Done. Thank you.
Next question, please.
Like non-verbal communication, regular eye contact. So few learners are so confident in case of this scenario, in terms of regular eye contact. But at the time of when trainer ask any question to these kind of people, then they are not able to understand the content. At that time, they become blank.
Yes.
So मतलब, what is the proper method to understand these kind of learners मतलब, who are showing the good non-verbal communication, but if you go in deep, then they are not able to understand the content because they are not listening properly.
Okay. First off, these kind of people will be always there, maybe in a smaller or larger percentage, but they will be always there in our audience, and we have to live with this fact. Can't do anything. But having said that, we need to understand that everybody loves to get attention. So these people who are trying to fake that they have understood everything or they're very smart people, they were doing that because they wanted to get some attention. Therefore, when you are addressing them with all your genuine concern and empathy by asking, are you okay with these points? Do you want to clarify? Do you want any clarification from my side? If you have any doubt, please ask me, and etc. Then those people will understand that your concern is genuine. So at least that group of people will try to make an attempt to pay a little more attention next time. And if your luck is, I would say, favoring you, then they will be really attentive to your session and they will actually start participating. So you keep on doing this trial and error and see how it goes. And the last thing I will say, in my experience, I have seen something called peer pressure. If there is a small group of people who are not paying enough attention and they're trying to deviate their attention somewhere else, the larger audience, if they are listening to you or they are trying to be with your training, then generally you will see that basically they will be actually trying to be part of the larger group. The larger group, when they create the peer pressure that you better pay attention because of your confusion, your deviation from the main line, our training session is getting distracted and we are not liking it, then you will see that somehow they will keep quiet. So peer pressure also works that way.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Any other question?
Ma'am, if we do, eye contact, so maybe some people do start staring, or if they look down, they look nervous. So how to do exactly eye contact, ma'am?
If you find people are not maintaining the eye contact with you during your training session, we need to use that again, the trial and error method to find out what will make them comfortable. You may go a little closer to them. You may crack a joke. You may show some pictures or some cartoons. You may ask that those people to come and volunteer, or you may create some small subgroups in the training session to see whether they are gelling with their teammates, something or other. I mean, you keep on doing the trial and error to see how you can involve them. There is no sacrosanct rule. पत्थर की लकीर तो कुछ है नहीं. You have to keep on trying. आप try करते रहो, and more experienced you will become, more and more open-minded you will become towards this kind of people. You will find that आज नहीं तो कल आपके पास कुछ ना कुछ तरीका तो आ ही जाएगा to involve them. Okay, but these are some of the thumb rules which I have discussed. Okay, right. Any other question? No.
Ma'am, addition to that, actually, like for example, only two people are there. When we have to make rapport, also some people, try to make eye contact and they start staring, or sometimes they feel uncomfortable to other person or themselves. In that scenario, what should we do?
So these I have mentioned in our earlier session. We cannot continue to maintain the eye contact and make people uncomfortable. You have to find out the time where for a few seconds you're maintaining the eye contact, and then you have to just switch over to another space, and then again you have to come back. Nobody likes to be stared at. Nobody, including yourself. Yeah, therefore, please treat them with compassion. Try to maintain the eye contact, but then shift it, and then again you can come back. Okay, right. Let me just show the last slide of this file. Yeah. So this is the negative body language. Some of the examples. Avoid the eye contact. All the time, if people are not trying to maintain the eye contact, that shows discomfort. Clench fist, it indicates uneasiness, hostility. That means you are actually using the palm, not showing the palm when you are clenched the fist. Stoic face, it indicates unfriendliness. Touching or rubbing nose, it may indicate disbelief. Rapid blinking, it may indicate distress or discomfort. Lip biting or pursed lip, as I said, lip biting may indicate that the person is tensed and worried about something or feel insecure. Okay. Frown, it indicates sadness or disapproval. Covered mouth, we have already discussed that. Head in hands, it may indicate boredom. It's totally bored, so you're just putting your head on your hand. Crossed arm, it may indicate defensiveness. Crossed leg away from a person, it may indicate the discomfort with the other person and thus need more space. Hands on hip, it may indicate dominating character. Rapid finger tapping or fidgeting, it indicates nervousness. Closed posture with crossed legs and arms, it indicates defensive behavior. Example I have given here, you can see If a person stands like this with a pointed finger, it is basically showing the aggressive and dominating behavior of this person at the left-hand side. As you can see, my cursor is moving. I'm talking about this gentleman specifically. Okay. So while delivering a speech or presenting, 1 minute. Okay. While delivering a speech or presenting a topic to inform the audience or a group of people, a leader or a presenter or a trainer needs to remember the following. Please remember, the first impression tends to be the last impression. Therefore, create the first impression with a positive image. Okay. Align the body language with the verbal message. There should not be the body language which contradicts your verbal message. That means in your words, you are saying well done, but your body language shows I don't care. Hand movement to complement the verbal message. When you are saying well done, the well done message should be complemented with an open palm hand movement rather than a clenching fist or pointing finger. Face-to-face communication, even today at the age of such advanced technology, we prefer to have face-to-face communication because we believe it is the most effective one, because when we are looking at each other's face, we are better reader of the facial expression cue. And ability to interpret the nonverbal communication, not everybody has got that ability. Therefore, please do practice. Please try to see where you are making the mistake. Ask for clarification, ask for any doubt clearance, and then only you will be learning. Please do not have the notion, preconceived notion that we have understood everything because we go for certain training sessions. No, it does not happen that way, because body language, though we call it as a science, kinesics, but please remember there are a lot of ifs and buts in interpretation of the same. Therefore, use it as a complementary tool rather than using your assumption as a full and final note. Okay. So basically, this is all about non-verbal communication. Any question, ask me.
Ma'am, Danjani this side. Suppose
You have to talk little louder, madam. I'm not able to hear you.
my voice is clear now.
No, you have to speak little louder.
I don't know what problem it is.
Ma'am, actually, maybe, we have questions, but, we are feeling that you are just reading the slides, ma'am. So, means it has become a very monotonous, matlab, like that.
Himanshu, let me tell you something here, and this is for everybody. When we were discussing and we were actually having the complementary discussion with the slides, I was told that some people were telling that what was the syllabus they were not able to understand. Therefore, I had no other choice to come back to that slide and start reading from the slide. If you have any further problem with this, please talk to the ISTD people. I have already told them about what I feel and how I feel about these sessions. As I said, I have got only 3 modules. Let me just switch on my video because you will have to see my face. I have got only 3 modules, 1, 2, 3. I have got only 5 sessions. Okay. First 3 sessions, I was having a discussion using the PPT as the complementary tool. I was told that one person has sent one message that it was not clear. So I changed my style. If you want the style to be changed again, please send a formal request to ISTD and they will inform me. I will change. But if not, I will stick to, quote unquote, I will stick to the syllabus And I hope it is getting recorded, because the syllabus is important for your ISTD course. What you feel personally is not important unless you are putting it on record, and majority feels this way. The 3 sessions which I have conducted, the other people who attended earlier, they know very well, and I'm sure those sessions also got recorded. There were a lot of contributions, lot of participations. But when I was told that that is not, that was not understood by somebody, I have to stick to the syllabus, going by point, PPTs and etc. So I'm following that. And you wanted to use me as a role play or whatever, the actor, and I refused to do that because it was intrusion of privacy and breach of confidentiality. So please don't raise certain questions, don't raise certain points which are not formally acceptable by a faculty member. Any question you have, Himanshu, please do send it to the ISTD and I will address that. By the way, how many sessions you have attended earlier? This is your first session, or earlier you were there?
Yeah, ma'am. Earlier I was there, but then I
In
saw
my
the.
sessions, how many sessions you have attended earlier?
Ma'am, it is your third session, ma'am. You did 2 sessions before.
You have attended any session earlier?
Uh, Not, ma'am, because when I came, I saw the camera is
Exactly.
off
So
and.
please
Hmm.
go through the slides first. Then you come back and ask question. I still have one more session to go. I will answer. Okay. I'm surprised to see this kind of questions coming, because these are just sheer wastage of time. What is happening, guys? If you have any
Actually, ma'am,
query, write in the chat box. Himanshu, your time is up. Write in chat box, I'm answering. Okay, but please don't waste our time here. It is your first session you are telling with me. First 3 sessions you are not there, am I right?
yeah, ma'am, but your
Yes.
every session should be like that. If we should come next session, no?
You please write to ISTD. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
thank you.
I think they are, ma'am, my personal view, earlier sessions were too interactive, very, you were means trying to explain it very well. And I think the earlier style was better than this one. And that was your original
So
style, I guess.
please write that. Write to ISTD, because one of you has written something which I was
Yeah,
very
actually,
surprised. It
in
was
other
mentioned that the
paper,
syllabus was not. No, just 1 minute. It was mentioned that the syllabus was not covered. I'm putting it on record. It was mentioned syllabus was not covered. That is why since beginning of our session today, Usha was there. I asked her to be present and I wanted to put it on record. I wanted to show that this was the syllabus which was told me to cover. And this is what I was doing, because I understand, guys, you all are working professionals. You don't need this point by point syllabus to be discussed and read from the PPTs. I understand that. But after finishing 3 sessions, having so much interactions, somebody has written something and it was told to me the syllabus was not covered. I was laughing at myself, because the study material, what you have got, the full book I have written, and I'm not touching down the syllabus. So I was finding it very, I would say humorous, if you will. But then I decided, okay, fine. The participants wanted the typical, textbook kind of session. So let me go to it. So if you want this to be changed again, I want a formal request. Please write that. Please write that what was happening earlier, that was correct. That was appreciated. Then I will change again. Because I'm not a faculty member who is going to have lots of sessions. I am only having 5 sessions to go. Out of that, today is the 4th session. Question, please. No question, sure. Okay, So we are going to talk about voice modulation here. The ways of voice modulation consists of clear, audible voice, showing the enthusiasm and confidence in the presenter, filtering the words and trying to put emphasis on certain words and kind of de-emphasizing certain other words, bringing certain variations while delivering any speech or any session, connect with the audience. Voice modulation gives the connectivity with the audience, and from time to time, it needs to be paused to check whether people have understood it properly or not. This is one example, one small exercise I have given you. If you're not interested to do that, you please tell me and I will stop sharing the slide and I'll go to the next slide here. Anybody is interested to do this small exercise for me?
Yes.
Because this is an example, the real life example. Somebody was mentioning that earlier sessions were good. So I prepared it that way, but I did not know whether you will be appreciating it or not. So this is a practical exercise. You want to do that?
Ma'am, can you just give us 2 minutes to read through this exercise first?
Absolutely. You take 5 minutes, but you have to tell me.
Okay.
I want it to be on the record that yes, you want to do this exercise. So please tell that.
Ma'am, we are interested.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Do
we
it.
are.
5 minutes. Take 5 minutes time.
What are you working with? This would be a good exercise. I don't know about others. Okay, effective style of communication. Okay. You want us to do this in the groups, ma'am?
No, take your time. Just like our earlier session, you just write in the chat box,
Okay, ma'am.
which will be the most effective communication style for you and why. Then what I will do in the chat box, whatever the answers are coming, if the answers are very similar, then I will just take your names and read the common answer. Otherwise, I will explain the other answers because that's what I try to do. This is supposed to be a participative session, not a typical reading from the PPTs. Okay, I have started receiving the answers. Shivli said some challenges that Tanisha may face are traveling, training the new participants, and job allocations, also providing constructive feedback. Very nice. Then Smita, okay, just 1 minute. Smita said, challenges, communication, mode of continuous and comprehensive training. Fantastic. Okay, let me see some other people. May I just draw your attention to the point for all of you guys? I will read your answers, but just I want to point something here. You see, when this Tanisha is trying to communicate with the people, this team of 5 analysts, she has already worked with 3. That means she knows these 3 people. The other 2 analysts are new employees. So till now, whatever we have discussed, remember that the closeness, then the space, then how comfortable we are with the people when we are dealing with and so on. If you think from that perspective, then try to see what else you can add up with your answer. Because your analysis should actually consist of all these points, not only those challenges in general, but also the specific challenge. Let me give you an example. When you are talking about job allocation, okay, or let's say performance review, people who are very close to you or people whom you know personally because you have worked with them in certain other projects, you don't have to be, following a typical formal boss or team leader approach. But the new 2 people, you have to be a little bit careful and cautious. You should not hurt their feelings because they're very new and they don't understand what type of person you are. They have not seen you performing earlier. They did not know what kind of, likings you have when you are in the workplace and etc. etc. Therefore, those kind of things also need to be into consideration. Yeah. Okay. So I have some further points here. I'll come back. 1 minute. Danjini has mentioned 2 people she did not work exactly and she faced problem to understand their work. Very nice. Ruby said at the time of manage it to get the work done in the stipulated time. Need to have wear different hats. Very correct. Convincing her colleagues to do overtime in certain projects. Yes. Assertive communication. Very true, Shuli. She has also to use budding up with the old employees, probably train them. Okay, very nice. Anirban challenges Tanisha may face, including way of communication with analysts in terms of feedback. Okay. The expectations of those analysts who handle different projects. Very true. Smita challenges. It is a group of combination of old and new employees. Fantastic. Effective communication style, according to me, is written and verbal communication as she is unaware of the 2 people who are new to her. Very good. Sai has mentioned coordinating when projects are overlapping could be a challenge. Not to communicate properly could create confusion. Very good. Ruby has mentioned colleagues and taking undue advantage. Could be because the old people, the existing employees, they know what type of person Tanisha is. So they may try to take the undue advantage by showing their closeness. Okay. Harsha has also said new employees communication style. Very good. Prachi, coordination task, new analyst, constructive feedback, very nicely said. Amit, working as a part of project and later managing them, fantastic. You have to be extremely careful. Jugal, as she has already worked with 3, 2 are new, okay, balancing. So there are unbalanced in communication, okay. Unbalanced communication means basically Tanisha has to ensure that while talking about this performance appraisal or expectation or giving the constructive feedback, etc., she needs to be a little bit more careful, I would say, when she's dealing with the new people. Fantastic. Okay, so guys, well done with this assignment. If you have any question, please ask me. Very nicely, very nice participation from the group. Excellent, well done. So if you don't have any question from that, let me go to the other point. Which is how to introduce a speech. Okay. Now, we all are experienced trainers here. We know exactly how we start or introduce our sessions, and depending on the nature or the content of the session or objective of the session for that matter, the way of introduction also needs to change. For example, can somebody tell me, if we are dealing with, let's say, an orientation program of the new employees, and if we are conducting a training session on safety procedure of the existing employees, what would be the very basic difference while introducing the training session? The induction training for the new employee and the safety training for the existing employee. Can somebody please speak out?
Hi, ma'am. Dhanjani this side. My voice is clear to you?
Sorry, yes, Dhanjani?
Yeah, my voice is audible to you now?
Yeah.
So I think if I'm talking about the NST batches when we are conducting an induction training program, so basically the employee is new, so that we are leading through them that the objective and the mission and objective and mission of the organization. When we are conducting some sort of safety training module, so in that case, we don't have to be so as you said that introductions might be different, right? So the introductions with the new people, that is different from this safety kind of training when we are conducting.
Fantastic. Anybody else wants to volunteer?
Ma'am, when we're doing onboarding and orientation, then we can start with triple E, that is a proper a good introduction, like with experience, education, expectation. And when we are doing a safety training for the existing employees who are already aware about the organization mission and vision, then we can start with a small introduction with the pain point that they are facing.
Fantastic. In fact, if you think about our earlier classes, earlier sessions examples, if you want to bring some, I would say, some interesting beginning of the, let's say, the safety training, you can actually show some video clips where there were some, points where you are showing that, okay, these are the points where you have to take into consideration, where you have to get into the site or the company premise or something like that. For example, if your company is a manufacturer of the, let's say, computer hardware, okay, safety measure is very, very crucial. You have to show that, where the shoe covers are kept, where the head covers are kept, and where you have to collect the, use and throw gloves, and you have to wear those things when you are entering the company premise, because even if there is a small particle of dust, it can create problem for the chipset which you are preparing. Just an example I'm saying, yeah. So this is the way you can actually bring some, interesting introduction for your session. Fantastic. Okay, so basically introducing a speech, we want to have the audience attention and attentiveness, because we try to tell the audience that whatever discussion we are getting into now, from now on, this is going to be of your interest and you will be getting certain value addition. This is going to be beneficial for you. So at the very beginning, if you remember, just some time back, I was mentioning about first impression tends to be the last impression. So if the beginning of a training session starts with some interesting note, okay, then the audience is already there with you for 50% time. The rest 50%, you have to make the effort with the content and your sincerity and the voice modulation and etc. So basically the first 50% of the heart of the audience can be won over if you know how to start the speech with a proper intro. Intro also should include the stating the objective of the speech. It should also establish the credibility. The credibility is directly associated with the perception. It is very important that the audience perceives the speaker as credible. Yes, Dhanjini, I'll come back to you. Just give me 1 minute. the credibility of the speaker or the presenter or even the trainer will be actually established if the past experience is explained, if the qualification of the trainer is explained, if there is a senior management team member is present to introduce the trainer in front of the audience. Somehow, the credential of the trainer needs to be established here. Then people will start paying attention. Purpose for listening: the audience gets motivated to listen to the speaker once they know how the information to be shared in the speech will benefit them. As I was telling, the beneficiary, they will become the beneficiary if they attend this session. So in the intro, increase their interest. And glimpse of the central data. The intro part also should include what type of things you are going to actually include in the speech or the training, which will be following the introduction part. So what exactly you are going to do, that you are giving the glimpse of in your intro part. Yes, Dhanjini, please go ahead.
Ma'am, although you had cited, you had already cited all the things, like what happened, you told that before starting the training session, you can come up with some of the videos and all. So I had used this in one of my training session, before citing the objective for the post training and the safety training as well. I had showed some videos regarding if you can't do these things, it will be happen, like the consequences and on, and why we are delivering this training session. So I'm just asking that such kind of things when we are using in the introductions. So is it a good way to start the session?
See, honestly speaking, if you ask for my personal view, I honestly feel that there is no such thing called, starting a training session in a very good way or in not so good way. It is just how you are using that intro, going by what type of audience you have, what is the objective of the training session you have, and what content you have, how much seriousness you want for the audience when you are delivering the training content. Okay, I give you a very simple example here. Let's say when we are having our session today. Okay, let's assume that we are all having, the experienced people, and we are having a discussion where from each other we are learning. Okay, and this is going to be a session where we are learning based on the syllabus, but we are helping each other. It's a participative learning mode, which is the best. But the same kind of training content, if I try to use for, let's say, in a UG course, where in the students are coming for, let's say, BBA course, Bachelor of Business Administration. They have just passed class 12, and for them, the communication is okay, we communicate, but the nuances of communication or the negatives or positives of dealing with certain communications with the audience, they don't have the work experience as such. So my introduction with this session and my introduction with that audience needs to be totally different. That needs to be more academic, if you know what I mean. And here it based on more experience, more practical examples. And that is why I was confused. I hope you understand when I keep on coming back to this confusion part. Okay. So
Yes.
academically, what I'm dealing with there in the intro part, here I will be using my experience and my participants' experience to begin the topic, but the content will not change. Content will remain, but the introduction will be different because of the nature of audience. The objective of audience is different. The objective of BBA students will be also one more. They want to pass the exam. They want to get more grades. Yeah. For us, we want to become better communicators, better trainers. So the objective is also different. So that is the way you have to decide what intro I should be taking, what type of intro I should be taking, which will make me a better communicator. Yeah.
Yeah, so the delivering style should, we have to change the delivering style according to our audience, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Any other question?
Thank you, ma'am.
No questions so far? Right, can I see everybody's video, please? Please switch on your video mode. Let me see all my learned friends here. Fantastic. I'm seeing so many people. Guys, thank you very much for being there for 90-minute session today. Today is the fourth session. We have almost covered the majority part of this the section or the section B or the part B of your paper 6. Once again, my earnest request to you is if you have any clarification to ask for, any doubt to clear in terms of your syllabus, please do so with ISTD. Any doubt, any clarification if you want from my side, any doubt clearance or clarification regarding my modules, please ask me. I'll be more than happy. If you need any further clarification in terms of your administrative part, ISTD you have to contact. I'm not the right person. I have been told only to take 5 classes, and that is what I'm trying to do. First 3 sessions, again, putting on record, the first 3 sessions, I did not deviate. I repeat, I did not deviate from the syllabus. I stuck to the syllabus, but I wanted to make it more interesting and participative. Today's session, also I tried to make more participative. So it is up to you whether you like it or not, whatever the way you want to continue your session. One more session to go. Please feel free to get back to me, give the feedback. Any further question, anything you want to tell me today, you please tell me, otherwise we will stop our session. Anything you want to tell? Anything?
Yeah, ma'am. Good afternoon, Sandeep here. So what I feel like earlier sessions, the participative discussions which we had, so the experience from all the learners will really help. So I think that is a good way to have the sessions. And thank you, ma'am, for the session today.
Thank you. Right. But today also we had some contributions. Not that we did not have, it was only little lesser, I would say, correct?
Actually, by some students, the issues were communicated to the ISTT management, but I think it has been conveyed in a different way or something. We just wanted to means some people can attend some sessions and some people cannot means they attend only 1 or 2 sessions in between. So just to be on the same page, just to refer what actually module and what lesson we are going through. Otherwise, ma'am, your style of teaching in the last sessions were really good, and it was very interactive, participative, and it was actually nice one. And I think you were a bit annoyed with the things which means actually was not connected with you somehow, but it is not the we just want to be and I think some issues are were not related to this session, I guess.
Okay,
And
perfect.
it was
So let's forget about everything. What I will do today also, we had some participation, right? Some
yes,
assignments, some discussions we had. So what we will do, I understand that next session also we can continue like our earlier session. Yes, guys, we all agree? Yeah.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
will continue our session.
Yes,
Fantastic.
ma'am.
And yes, and if you have any issues, anything to clarify, please do so with ISTD. And thank you very much for clarifying that. I was not annoyed. I was confused. I was like, what was happening? Because last 3 classes were one of the best classes I had with my beautiful participants, and they were continuously contributing. So many nice discussions we had, but we will continue to do so. Okay. Today,
Ma'am,
because of
little
Okay,
confusion,
ma'am.
we did not have much time, but we will continue. Yes, Himanshu.
ma'am, little point I want to add in Pooja ma'am. Maybe there is a little miscommunication. The message sent by the audience or in decoding the message, there will be little confusion. Just we want to add whatever we are starting, just topic name. So if new people are joining, we should understand that this is going on and we want the same way like a training method we are using. there was a little confusion. We don't want this way, we want this way, theoretical way. This is not a thing. We just want the
Himanshu,
heading and topic.
Point noted, but from my side, a task for you is please attend the sessions of all the faculty members before commenting on
Definitely.
anything. Please do so. All the PPTs have been shared with ISTD people. Please read them. After that, if you have any query, I'll be more than happy to clarify, right? Because that's my job. I love to be a trainer and a consultant and a faculty member, so I'll be always there with you. There is nothing to get annoyed. It is just the confusion which I had. Now the confusion is clear. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see you in the next class. Okay, have a nice Sunday.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.